Back here on Busted Open, Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray. Becky, we know. We just talked about it on that road to WrestleMania. Seth Rollins wins the men's Royal Rumble match. No surprise, Seth is your winner, huh? What do you think, Bully?
No, I'm not surprised at all. And my prediction on Seth winning the Rumble wasn't so much about, like I really thought he was going to win the Rumble because of that isolated match. It has to do with WrestleMania. What's your WrestleMania main event? Who is the guy to beat Brock? Because obviously Brock is going to be going away for a little while, or at least we think, so he can go fight in UFC. I don't know. Is that true, Dave?
I mean, that's what we assume, though. I don't think anything's concrete at this point, but that's always the cloud that's looming over Brock's head.
Listen, if the WWE universe has been bitching and complaining that they want a world heavyweight champion that's around every week, and I think we could agree that they have a very valid point. Seth Rollins is that guy, so they're building up Seth for that moment. So that's why I picked Seth as the winner. And now we'll get Seth and Brock at WrestleMania, and that will be a good pro wrestling main event for Mania.
Finding out yesterday in the WWE confirming that Cena was not going to be in the Rumble match and Braun was, did that make you change your mind? Did that make you think twice that possibly Braun can win the Rumble match last night?
No, because I never thought they would go with Braun and Brock at WrestleMania. Braun versus Brock in the main event of WrestleMania, or the semi-main event of WrestleMania, does not do it for me like Seth versus Brock. Mm-hmm. I've always said I am a big fan of different styles of a match. And we're going to get into the Brock match against Finn last night. But if you look at what Brock was able to do with Daniel Bryan about a month or so ago, if you see what Brock did with Finn last night, which was a masterpiece, and we're going to dissect it, that's why I want Seth and Brock. Because Seth being bigger than Finn and Daniel Bryan will be able to pose a bigger threat physically.
Yep.
And Seth can do all of the things that Finn and Daniel Bryan do. So we're going to get that style also. Seth and Brock on paper is fantastic, and they're going to give us a great main event.
And I think Seth is somebody that the fans want as well. Is it as big as Becky? No. But I think Seth is somebody that could really grow in that position. And I don't think there's anybody else that fits the role. When we look at the women's side, all right, Becky is who the fans want. But there's other women that could fill that role if need be. I don't really see somebody outside of Seth. So great performance, first of all, by Seth Rollins, being, the 10th entrant and going that long. I thought it was a really good showing. And what I thought, Bully, was a very good men's Royal Rumble match last night. But I think Seth is perfect for the position to be in the main event at WrestleMania.
Without a doubt, he's the guy right now. If you're Vince McMahon, if you're creative, it's no different than the head coach of a football team. You got some guys that are injured. Your top player, Roman Reigns, is injured right now. What are you going to do? Well, you got to put the best guys out there. And some might even say Seth Rollins is better than Roman Reigns. And there's a good argument for that. They're both very good in the ring, but some may say that Seth is better.
I think so. I mean, this is not a knock on Roman.
No. If Roman's an 8, then Seth is a 9. Does that mean we're knocking Roman?
No,
absolutely not.
But I do think that Seth is better in the ring. I think Seth is better on the microphone, and I think the fans want Seth more. Well, now you have him. He was in this position before as a heel, but as a face, I think this could do wonders for the product and, of course, for Seth Rollins. And it all leads up to him beating Brock at WrestleMania. I don't think you can have a situation like what we saw last year with everyone thinking Roman was going to win and then Roman loses. This has got to be a position where Seth goes over on Brock.
I absolutely agree. You don't want to do the old double and swerve yourself out of your moment because people think that he's going to win, so maybe he shouldn't win. No, the way to go off WrestleMania this year, unless you have some extraordinary idea that I'm not seeing, you go off with Seth holding the Universal Championship over his head and all of the fireworks going off over MetLife Stadium.
And I think it showed last night because we had the situation with Seth and Braun in the middle of that ring. And unlike you, there was a point during that matchup where I was like, they may go with Braun here. I just had that feeling. I was rooting for Seth, but I thought they might go with Braun. But watching that last night and hearing the crowd, you could tell that crowd, even face-to-face with Braun, they were completely behind Seth Rollins, which kind of surprised me. I thought it would be kind of split because I thought there would be some love for Braun, but not last night in Phoenix.
For some reason, and I can't put my finger on this, Braun has lost a tiny bit of steam in the fans' eyes.
I agree with you.
You know, this is, and we're not taking anything away from Braun. He's doing a great job. You know, he got snake bit with the injury and stuff like that. But it's almost like they're turning him more into a circus freak than anything else. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I mean...
You know, the feats of strength.
Yeah.
The word I used, Dave, when we were talking before the show was a little cartoon character-y.
Well, yeah, I just, like, and Bully, you're going to know what I'm saying here. You know, we noticed on Monday Night Raw, he's always going for the tagline, get these hands. But even last night, with him putting his arms above his head and go, roar, like, it is kind of like what Alex just said, a little cartoonish. And I think the fans buy into it, especially now in 2019, when you always say, Bully, they want a little realism in their wrestling. I think Seth is the perfect guy.